This is Digivation Network. Experience the revolution. The increase in electronic gadgets usage and ownership in Nigeria may be good, but how we dispose of them may be an issue that we really cannot, correct. Due to this harmful effects on the society, Chuks Otuya is a correspondent. In this report, you will understand the dangers associated with electronic waste.
Sites like this are common in sub-Saharan Africa, where foreign media has reported severely the toxic disposal of electronic waste. Computers, phones, laptops, TV sets, and more will buy them, use them, scrap them, and finally trash them. But where do they end up?
They're burning the wiring just to get to the copper. They are salvaging the metals that we find in the electronic waste. And this crude, primitive process means that they're releasing so much toxic heavy metals into the air and, of course, into the soil.
All around the world, it is believed that there are precious metals in e-waste, especially gold.
Here we go. So that's some more of the circuit board, and under here, if you can get it off, is the gold. So wherever there are buttons, there's usually gold. So we are basically consuming and throwing away some of these very precious materials.
But the story is fast changing, and today I'm on my way to the outskirts of Nigeria's commercial hub, Lagos, to visit a modern e-waste management facility and to speak with its manager, Ifeanyi.
Okay.
We're about to see how this machine works. We want to see how this particular company, what they are doing to ensure that the waste from your phones, your laptops, your computers are not disposed inappropriately.
Would you like a demonstration?
That first machine, the information is erased to a considerable extent, 95%. Then it's brought here to be shredded, to be separated. Iron, plastic, aluminium.
When we are shredded, what do we do with
The particle size.
To find out this, we proceed outside to a mobile waste disposal truck.
The difference between this machine's destruction capability and the previous one is that it has to adhere to the international standard of destroying the material to a 6mm size. You have this machine that is actually a disintegrator. It disintegrates the hard drive or SIM card or ATM card to make it completely impossible to retrieve any data.
Just as you have seen inside this huge truck, data destruction is part and parcel of electronic waste disposal.
I then take a tour of other aspects of the facility.
So you make your calls, you enjoy yourself, you call your loved one, but you never know how your phone is disposed in the end, where it gets to, where it ends up. You have the aluminium, you have the cables, then you also have the circuit board as it is. So it's properly separated and designated for proper disposal, unlike the unhealthy practices that you find around.
This machine is the first of its kind in West Africa.
The first of its kind in West Africa?
Yes. Ordinarily, you cannot separate the two glasses. If you use hammer to break it, the two glasses will break. Now, with the help of this machine, you can see the red this thing. What it does is to hit the joints where the two glasses being joined and separate in such a way that the two, don't join together.
And there is no breakage.
Yeah, there's no breakage.
We chose to invest in that machine
because we still have a backlog of this.
Yes, they're being imported. Developed countries and all worldwide are exporting their CRTs that are out of the market due to flat screens. So instead of treating them, even for recycling companies, I have to say what I see. Even for electronic waste recycling companies abroad, it's less costly to export it than to treat it.
Here is a monitor of a computer that is obviously out of fashion. It's been brought into this country or imported into Nigeria as it is. But here in this site, this particular computer or this particular monitor will be properly disintegrated and disposed if necessary in such a manner that it will not affect the environment or have any negative consequence in the lives of people.
E-waste goes beyond the trash itself. Your data is also at risk.
When we dispose of, we don't want any electronic device, whether that's a phone, whether it's a laptop, computer, or any of the, even paper. It needs to be protected. There are laws that are required to protect citizens, okay, against improper disposal, protection of the livelihood of all citizens of Nigeria. And it sets an example, I hope, for the rest of West Africa.
The phones you have now, they don't last as long as they used to. People have said this is a market strategy, we don't know. Generally, IT equipment are now, they go obsolete quicker than they used to.
Indeed, technology has quickly changed our society. As the rate at which we build and consume technology rises, the amount we throw away is also increasing.
Electronic waste management is our collective responsibility, from government to NGOs, so that we can protect our environment, protect our health, most importantly, protect our livelihood with proper data protection and data destruction.
This is Digivation Network. Experience the revolution.